Good morning, conversation students. First, what we're going to do today is do a little introduction. Obviously, you won't be able to introduce yourselves, but that is what I would like you to do starting in the second week is write a short introduction of yourself to me. So let's get started. This orientation lecture is for both Conversation 1 and Conversation 3. This lecture will be uploaded to YouTube and you'll be able to access it every week whenever you want. The way it's going to work this semester is each recorded lecture is going to be uploaded on Tuesday, and then that lecture will be available until the following Monday. So for those of you who are freshmen, don't know the system that well, when you log into this site through the CNU portal, when you go to your Cyber Campus lectures, there will be a list of the weekly lectures and there's a period in which you can access them. So as long as you put in the time, whatever that is, 60 minutes or 90 minutes or 2 hours, depending on what the class length is, if you complete those minutes, you get credit for attending the class. And that is a significant part of your grade. 15% of your grade is going to be just simply attending all the lectures and completing them. If you miss, I believe the rules have changed, and if you miss 3 full lectures, then you fail the class. So you can skip a couple, but this is going to affect your grade. And if you miss too many, that will result in you failing the class, and you'll have to take it again. So, first of all, my name is Professor Jeremy Sullivan. I'm a professor in the English Department of Language and Literature at Chungnam National University. If you're a freshman, you might not have been there or been into the classrooms, but at some point this semester, you will get a chance to come. Probably, maybe for a little bit of a tour, but most likely to write an exam or a test. The coronavirus numbers have stayed steady for the last month, and as the warmer weather comes, we expect them to get better and be able to do more stuff. Nonetheless, a lot of people are concerned that if we flood the campus with thousands of students, that we will spread the coronavirus quickly, and they're probably right. So this class will be online this entire semester. So you got to keep track of it. The best way to contact me is to do it through my email, which is on the syllabus. It's sullivanhps@gmail.com, and I will put that in a comment at the bottom of this lecture on YouTube. The way you access the lecture is, like I said, by going to the CNU portal, logging in, going to the Cyber Campus class, going to this particular week, and then clicking on the link. And then on the website, which I own and manage, there'll be a link that says Week 1, Conversation 1, Conversation 3, Orientation. You click on it, and the link will bring you to YouTube, and you will see this. One of the good things about YouTube is there are automatic subtitles generated, and my pronunciation is good enough that usually there's not too many errors unless I start clipping my words or using Canadian dialect, which does happen sometimes. So I've been teaching at Chungnam for about 12 years. This is my house. I'm in my home office. I will broadcast from here, and I will broadcast from my CNU office, and perhaps other places too. I do have equipment that I can move around. I have a wireless microphone, and I have, a desk with high quality, high def video camera and all that kind of stuff. So what we're planning on doing is basically doing 14 recorded lectures. So every week we have a consistent, routine. Because last semester, I tried to kind of go back and forth between Zoom and recording, and it confused people. So this is the plan for this semester. All lectures are going to be recorded, but there's going to be a few supplementary Zoom lectures, and they're not going to be full lectures. They're going to be something like 30-minute or 45-minute kind of discussions, just to make sure that everybody knows what's going on. I've been getting lots of emails because we're not in class, and we need some two-way communication here, and conversation requires listening and speaking, not just listening. So if you go through the whole semester and you just listen to me talk about, grammar, English, expressions, culture, formal language, where languages come from, context, nuance, new vocabulary, I'm sure you'll absorb a lot, but it'll be limited in how you're able to express it. And you need to practice. The only way to get better at speaking is really to do more of it. So there's a few activities I would like to do this semester, which I'll talk about in a minute, which are supposed to promote the fact that you need to do some speaking. And on Zoom, even when we break up into smaller groups, people hesitate to talk to each other, especially freshmen are usually not really confident or excited or enthusiastic about chatting with strangers over the internet. So usually what we do in class is we have desks that are grouped together, and then I push or encourage you or participate in a conversation, but it's really hard to get that going on the internet. So we're going to do a few conversation exercises where you have to do like some homework, where you just have to sort of make a conversation with some other students, and then you'll have to say it to us. Not difficult stuff, pretty easy stuff, and I'll explain about evaluations later too. So moving on, when you're introducing yourself, I'm simultaneously introducing this course and myself, but suffice to say, I've been here for 12 years. I am going to be a PhD student this spring as well. Today is my first day, so I am also a freshman by coincidence. So I know how it feels when you feel nervous and there's new programs and systems and you have to make sure you get your homework done. So we're in the same situation, all of us, once again. It's good to know where your professor is coming from. I'm Canadian and I was educated in Canada too. My first 2 degrees were at McMaster University in Canada. And I'm married and my wife is Korean and my children speak Korean much better than me. I came to Korea because I was looking for some work and I wanted to travel, and I found that some of the things that I was interested in at the time, sports, nature, outdoors, socializing, drinking, good food, going to the beaches, StarCraft, these things all appealed to me. I felt like I could go there and there would be some things that I liked. And if I got along with Korean people, then I would have a good time. And now I've been here for 14 years. So that's the backstory for me. Everybody at some point usually asks me, well, why did you come to Korea in the first place? It's a complicated question, but basically Korea looked like a place that was a place I could be comfortable, and I was right. So here I am. When you go through your introduction, you can give a little bit of a backstory. You can say where your hometown is from. You can talk about your family. You can talk about your personality, or you can talk about the decisions that you've made. You can talk about what your job is like. I've done that a little bit already. That's what I would like you to do. Now, I'm not going to assign this introduction for next week because people are moving around and it's even more confusing when you're doing it online. So there's going to be some students that pick up this class late. So don't overreact about, did I miss something important? I'm just telling you all the basic information about the class right now, and you can rewatch this video later. And if you missed this cyber lecture because you were confused about how to log in and stuff, we'll deal with that. Don't panic. Okay, so just try and follow all the information I'm giving you. This this particular assignment that I'm asking you to do, to introduce yourself, it'll be due 2 weeks from today, which is an easy number to count because this is the second. But remember, I would like you to hand in your assignments on the correct day. So we had a holiday yesterday. Conversation 1. You guys missed 2 classes because of your holiday, but we're going to try and keep everybody on the same week. So I'll explain that in the Conversation 1 class next week, but I'm going to extend this window longer so you have a longer time to log in and get your lecture done, because some of the students yesterday, they won't think that they need to watch this lecture until next week. But basically what we're going to do is we're just going to go straight through the 15 weeks without ignoring every holidays, because we're doing everything online. So there's no need for us to, you can take your day off and then you can watch the lecture on another day. It doesn't matter. You have a whole week to do it. So there's no reason to mix up the schedule because of a holiday on a Wednesday or a Tuesday. So we're just going to go straight through. Week 1 is this week, including the students that are yesterday, but they will figure that out next week. So today is my Tuesday Conversation 1 class. I'm sure there should be no confusion with you, but I'll deal with the Monday class next week. All right, so that's going to be the format. Recorded lectures right through. It's actually not 14, it's 15 weeks, but we have a midterm and we have an exam. So there's going to be 13 recorded lectures, okay? And the week that we have a midterm and the week that we have an exam, there will be no lecture. The same goes for all of these things apply for Conversation 3, except for all of those Conversation 3 students, I believe, are not freshmen, so they know how things work already. Right. So there's a textbook for each class. This is going to be posted on the website. So remember, when you go through the CNU portal and you get sent to the page, at the top of the page, there's general descriptions about the class, and then you have to scroll down and it'll say week 1, and then there'll be the link to the video. And if there's any other information like PDF files or Word files or instructions or links to videos or pictures, those will be in order, and you'll be able to see them even on week 8. You'll be able to go back and look at week 1 to study or to review or to check something. Okay, the whole list will be there for the entire semester, so it makes it super easy for you to study, and you can access everything in the same spot. All right. So there's my self-introduction. Hopefully in the discussion, usually students don't ask that many questions about me personally online. People used to ask stuff all the time when we were in class, but now that we're using screens and video calls, people seem to, hesitate to ask something more personal, which is natural, I think. I don't usually call people out when I see them on a screen either. It just feels like you're a little bit more impersonal that way. So, like I said, the online format for this class, I think, presents a challenge for giving you a chance to speak. So these basically about once a month, I'm going to set up a Zoom meeting, and I would like everybody to participate as much as possible. Like, drink your coffee and your Red Bull and your Hot Six or whatever, and get your eyes open that day, and be ready to apply the stuff we've been practicing. The things you've been listening to, the things you've been reading and writing, I want you to try and express them. Because on week 7, I'm going to give you a midterm exam, and you have to speak to me. I'm going to ask you questions, and you have to speak to me. If you haven't done any practice, it's going to be really tough, right? It's like never practicing riding a bicycle and then going in a bicycle race. It's not going to go very well. So, recordings. There would be 13 recordings, as I said, with a midterm break and a break for the final. Periodic Zoom lectures about monthly, and those are going to be for discussion and for me to make sure you understand what the assignments are for. Okay. The first assignment I'm giving you is due in 2 weeks, as I said. which is March 16th. That is supposed to be your self-introduction. So I will go over that again next lecture. And we're going to do, every week, we're going to do some writing, a kind of response to the topic. So every week in this textbook, this is the textbook you need for Conversation 1, we're going to do a chapter every week, right? And I will lecture based on a topic related to each chapter. And this is the one for Conversation 3. It's a little bit more advanced. It's the same series, but it's level 4 instead of level 2. So make sure you get the right one. You got to make sure it's a student book, all right? Don't get the workbook. Don't get the teacher's book. There's different ones. Make sure you get the student book. The workbook is a separate thing. Okay? So takeaway 2, takeaway 4. I'll take a snapshot of those and post them on the website for you to see. And you need to buy that because starting next week, we're going to use it. Like I said, we're going to do some discussion in the Zoom lectures, and one homework assignment I'm going to get you to do is a little bit of dialogue. So you just have to make a group of 2 or 3 people, and you have to make up a conversation. A couple of guys having a chat after a soccer game. People drinking coffee, in a cafe, relaxing, talking outside after class, going on a blind date. It doesn't matter if it was a boy or a girl or a boy or 3 boys, or you decide whatever you're interested in. It could be, you're waiting at the airport and you're excited and you're about to fly again after 1 year of coronavirus, travel bans. You can come up with whatever scenario you want. We'll set it up so that there's groups of 2s and 3s of people, and then you just have to try to create a realistic conversation together. And then during one of the Zoom lectures, you're just going to present it. You're going to talk to each other. It's just for practice. That's not going to be graded. You don't have to worry about, I got an A plus and then the other group got a C plus or whatever. It's just so that you get some practice and you become more comfortable. Like I said, if you go the whole semester just listening to me talk and reading the textbook and writing, and you don't say anything, it's going to be tough to sit in my office face to face and talk to me, or on Zoom. Last semester, most of the exams were done over Zoom because at the end of December, the cases were getting worse, so we just did the exams on Zoom, and it was fine. Some of the students wanted to come in to the building, and I allowed them to do that. So I'm going to say that for the midterm, everybody does their midterm on Zoom with me, one-on-one, and for the final, we'll see how it goes. If the weather is great, the coronavirus is disappearing, and the administration thinks it's safe, everybody can come into campus. If you don't have a dormitory room, or you don't have access to a dormitory room for the exam week, or you don't live in Daejeon or Gungdong or something, and you're in Ulsan and you say, Professor, I don't want to drive all the way to Daejeon, just have a 10-minute interview, then we can do it on Zoom. Okay, we'll take care of all that stuff later. So the presentation is another thing which requires you to speak. You don't have to worry about that until after the midterm. So we're going to do the majority of the sort of easy, practice homework before the midterm. We'll do a dialogue before the midterm. Then we'll have the midterm exam, and the second half we'll be basically doing lectures and presentations week by week, and then we'll do another couple Zoom discussions, and then it'll be the exam. Before you know it, it'll be June. Okay, so that's how it goes. We got today the orientation, and then we kind of have a sequence of topics with some response, homework, a midterm, and a dialogue, and a presentation, and some, a few Zoom meetings here and there, and then the final exam. So it breaks down like this. The syllabus is slightly wrong, so you have to listen to this, and I'll post this on the website as well, just to be clear. Since participation in class is a lot harder now than it would be in the usual class, class participation is down to 15%, okay? So class participation is 15%, homework is 15%. The dialogues that you do will be worth 10. The midterm is worth 15. The presentation is worth 20. And the exam, which formerly was 30%, has been reduced to 25. So it's spread out pretty well. I'm assuming that the grade curve is going to be the same as last year. Nobody tells me anything, but I think it's 50-50, 50% A's and 50% everything else. So if you work hard and you do your best, there's no reason why you can't get at least a B+. Finally, when you might want to know, when you do your exam, how am I going to evaluate whether you do well or not? I give you questions week by week. So as we go through the textbook, every chapter has a topic, and I give you a question, and that question becomes your homework. So you actually practice for the exam. Every time you do your homework, you practice one of the exam questions. So after we've done 6 weeks of class, we will have 6 questions, and I will do the midterm with all of you, and I will ask you 2 questions out of those 6. And you answer those questions, and according to how well you do in the content, the fluency, pronunciation, your grammar and mechanics, and presentation ability, I give you a score out of 100. And it's broken down into those 5 categories. Again, we'll talk about this later, but that's how the evaluation works. You'll get a score out of 100, and that'll be scaled against the rest of the class, and then you'll get a letter grade based on your ranking in that interview, just like a real interview. For the presentations, it's slightly different. For the presentations, if we're not able to be in the class, which is what it looks like the last 2 semesters, you get to record yourself. You get to do what I'm doing right now. It's super fun, honestly. Yeah, it's not super fun, but it is when it goes well. I actually don't have enough time to edit, unfortunately. So you'll see me like sniffle or cough or mumble, but I'm just going to keep going like it's live Professor Sullivan. However, when you do yours, you're just going to have a 5-minute video of you presenting on a topic. And not only is it good for you to practice speaking English, but some of these students, they created some really great videos last semester. They have better video editing skills and this transitions and stuff. The only thing is, I don't want to see too many, cartoons running by or too many distractions, because I really want to hear your voice. I want to judge your English ability most. But if you have some sort of video editing talent, I had a student who was a professional YouTuber last semester, and quite frankly, his presentation was better than my video lectures, which is embarrassing, but it makes sense because he spends a lot of money, time, and effort and training, and so he's very skilled at putting together good YouTube videos. Basically, what I'm doing here is just trying to be as natural as possible. And hopefully that works for you and keeps you interested in the class. So that's the format for the class. When you do your presentation, 40% content, 30% based on your speech, 20% organization, and 10% creativity for another score out of 100. Certainly, some of this information is on the syllabus, and the rest of it is going to be posted on the website. Again, my email address is both on the website and will be posted in the comments with the address to my website at the bottom of this YouTube video. So this is your orientation, both Conversation 1 and Conversation 3. I believe both of you, if I'm not mistaken, Conversation 3 ended up on You're the Tuesday morning class. Conversation 3 is the Tuesday morning class, which is right now, while this recording is being done and going to be uploaded. So if whenever we do end up having a Zoom lecture, it'll be scheduled during the regular time, unless there's some reason for doing it at a different time, okay? So for now, please watch these videos, digest all the information, buy your textbook. If you're Conversation 3, please get Takeaway English 4. If you're Conversation 1, please get Takeaway English 2. Please don't get confused. I know you're freshmen. Don't be confused. The green one is for you, freshmen, okay? Get the right textbook. And we'll start for real, I guess, next week, dealing with topics and homework and other things. That, like I said, you can start thinking about what you want to write, how you want to write your introduction right now if you want, but it's not due for 2 weeks yet. In the introduction, I just want you to tell me about yourself, okay? Like I said, we'll go over that again at the beginning of next lecture. So if you're not sure exactly how I want it, but there are different types of introductions too. Casual ones, written ones, formal ones, professional ones. So you have choices here. I would like to teach you how to do all of them. We do have a limited amount of time though. So the more important thing is that you give a good first impression, whatever that means in that situation, okay? So we'll talk more about that next week. So get your textbooks, make sure you signed up for the class and you're ready to go. Every recorded lecture will be uploaded, like I said, Monday night or Tuesday morning. It resets Monday night, so the new lectures will be coming up every Tuesday morning after this week, okay? So that's when you can expect to see them, and then you can get them done, make your notes, and get your information. Okay? So, good luck. Enjoy your first week. It's cold and rainy, but I can feel the warm sun is coming. So it's just around the corner. Welcome to Chungnam National University if you're a freshman, and welcome back if you're an upper year student. That's it for today. Thank you very much. Have a good day.